Hi there folks, so this is going to be a short lesson on Nights in White Satin. This is a great classic tune, requires a handful of open chords. They're going to be E minor, D, going to be a whole lot of those too, it's going to be C, G, the dreaded F chord. Play that any way you want, 6, 5, 4 strings and anything in between. We're also going to get A, we'll have B7, and we'll get A minor as well. Okay, so a fair selection of chords there. For the most part, for the verse, you're looking at E minor, D, C, G, F. Your chorus is going to be A, C, and then E minor and D. That's the bulk of the song really. It's in the solo where you're going to get the B7 and the A minor creep up. For the most part, I think you can play this with a steady strumming pattern throughout. That's going to be this one. Okay, now I clocked this one in 6/8. That's how I've transcribed it. You could think of it as 12/8. Maybe even in 3, but to me it sounds like a ba, 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 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Okay, that's the sort of feel that this one has. So if we take an E minor, if we played straight 6/8, just with downstrokes for now, that would be 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. So feeling 2 heavy pulses with 3 strums on each one. Okay, what we're going to do then is, after the second downstroke, we're going to put in an upstroke before the third downstroke. So down, down, up, down, 1, 2, and 3. That then fits twice into a bar. 1, 2, and 3, 2. With the pulse. Okay. That's what you're after. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. You can do that pretty much the whole way through. The only times where you'd want to maybe change that is just before the solo. There's what I've called a little bridge where you hold on the E minor, and there's a little descending pattern which I think the bass plays, but we're going to have a go at picking that up as well. Okay. Just before that solo kicks in. The only other time that changes then, strumming wise, is right at the end of the song. There's like a double chorus before the end, and in between those 2 choruses there's a little build up. I've called it a bridge on the sheets, but it's like a little sort of build up to that final chorus, okay, before the song ends. And the rhythm for that would be this. Okay, it's 2 bars of E minor. All on E minor. Okay. Aside from that, you can keep that strumming pattern steady all the way through, and then it's just a matter of negotiating those chord changes. So let's take a little look at some of those then. We've got E minor to D, a whole bunch in this one. Now E minor, you might know you can play a couple of different ways. You can play it fingers 1 and 2, or fingers 2 and 3. I was trying to play with 1 and 2 through this one. I think personally I kind of prefer 2 and 3, but I reckon 1 and 2 might set you up better going through this one. Okay, those 2 drop down quite nicely to D. So you might want to aim for that. Not too much to say, E minor to D, probably one of the easier changes. C to G, The softer one that people find tricky, okay? And really that comes from most likely not having your C chord together, okay? C chord takes a little bit of extra work. It's a bit of a stretchy one going this way, but also kind of across this way as well. Each finger needs to get into its position right behind the fret, and that is possible on C, unlike something like an A where the fingers naturally slope off towards the previous fret. With C, you want to get those lined up in that sweet spot behind each fret. The thing I see a lot with C, that people often kind of get wrong with this one, is that when you're placing your fingers, you start over here with your first finger, and then you do your second finger, and then you're kind of your hands all the way over here, and you're reaching over. You're trying to reach over and get your third finger longer to get over there. And by the time it's got there, it's knocking out all the strings underneath. Okay. Problem here is this finger doesn't want to look like that, and the only way we can improve it is by bringing this whole hand over here. The palm wants to be underneath the neck here, and now all of a sudden this third finger can arch up properly, clear those strings, get right down on the tip, and each one of those is ringing out. Okay, so as soon as I drag my hand off that way, that's gone. So watch that C. Also, don't build it 1, 2, 3, okay? Build it 3, 2, 1. It's a much better way of learning C, because if you think about how you're going to use it when you're strumming chords, you're going to strum these bass strings first. You're not going to strum in this direction. You're generally starting with a downstroke. If you can get this to roll in that order, 3, 2, 1, you can almost build it as you strum down, rather than having the fingers in late. Okay, so what's your C chord? C to G will take a little bit of work. F, okay, the dreaded F chord. Now, you might be okay with F, 6, 5 or 4 strings. Those are all standard ways of playing it. If you're struggling with the F, one way I like to show people is this, okay? Think about an E chord. You're going to take the shape you're making there and bring it up 1 fret. Only problem with this though is that it needs some muting. You need some left hand muting to make this work, because this doesn't sound any good. So you're going to get your first finger, drag across those other strings there. Your thumb is going to bump into the E on this side, and really your right hand just has to be a bit more careful to hit just these strings that you're after. Okay, so you can do that. Then you'll get in and out of that F without too much trouble, okay? Just watching this one and watching this one. So that little baby F there on 3 strings, that's well worth investigating. Aside from that, as you go through, you're not going to have too many troubles, I think, until perhaps the solo, but we'll just take a very quick look at the chorus. There you're going to have A to C. That's the only new change there. So nothing for that one, but just practice it until it's comfortable. Likely it's the C that's going to give you problems, but I spoke about that before, okay, about how you can try and work on fixing that one. When you get to the solo then, you'll have this, you'll have E minor, E minor, D, C, D7, okay, D to C, might need a little looking at, and then C to B7. B7's another one that gives people trouble, because there's 4 fingers in that one. The little finger often doesn't want to come out to play, so do watch out with that one. You've really just got to go through that motion slowly and do that change enough times that it falls into place. That happens twice then, E minor, D, C, B7. Then you do E minor to C, and you do that twice. Now this is another reason why playing E minor with fingers 1 and 2 can work really well, because if you do E minor to C and you're set up in 1 and 2, this second finger doesn't have to go anywhere. Okay. Leave that rooted to help you get across there. Really good one to practice. Then from this C, we're going to A minor. So from C, tuck the 3rd finger under, get your A minor, A minor to B7. Okay, right, from here, try and now leave the 3rd finger down. Back to A minor, B7. That note, that A note there, that stays the same throughout. So see if you can work on that change. And look how little movement there is in my fingers. If I leave that one rooted, my fingers aren't flailing out here, hunting for that next chord. Okay. One of them stays grounded and the others moves around it, getting straight where I want it to go. Aside from that, there's nothing else that happens in the rest of the song that's too odd. I think we've talked about all the weird and wonderful bits. So check out me playing along to it. And see if you can have a go at playing along with it, okay? So have some fun with that and take care.